What's up, guys? Blackthorn Gaming here today, bringing you a Hyperscape video. So today we're going to be talking about how to find the training ground where you can access all of the different weapons and hacks and even have some training dummies in order to practice on. So you're going to start out, we're here in the Hyperscape hub. You see this big orange triangle, that is where you go to start a match. But if you run up to it and you go to the right here is the training room. It took me a little while to find. It's kind of hidden back here, tucked off in the back, but here it is. So you just hop right in. It'll load for a second. And so now that we know how to access the training room, we are going to go over some of the, we're going to go over all of the weapons and see how much damage they do per shot at the base level, and then compared to how much damage they do at the max level. So we're going to start with the Mammoth MK1. That's the shotgun. So right off the rip, it's going to do 75 body damage, and it's going to do 120 headshot damage. That wasn't a good example right here. 120. Oh, 105, I'm sorry. 105 headshot damage at the base level. So let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way. And to upgrade, if you didn't know, you just find another weapon of the same type and you pick it up, and it will fuse with the weapon you currently have, and that will upgrade it. So, fully upgraded, we got 105 to the body, and we've got 120 to the head. And 120 to the head, if you can hit all your pellets, that is a one-shot kill. So, but see, they're spread, so the farther away you are, the less damage you're going to be doing. See, from this range right here, I'm doing 24, 49, 21, 28. So, you know, if you're really accurate and you're really close range, the shotgun is a good bet pretty much every time. Alright, moving right along, we're going to go to the Riot 1, which is kind of a deagle type weapon. It's, you know, a 6-round revolver, and the base level does 26 to the body, 39 to the head. Let's check again just to make sure. 26 to the body, 39 to the head. Alright, let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up. Alright. So now let's try it again. 38 to the body, 57 to the head. So guys, it's really worth upgrading these weapons if you get the chance. Alright, let's move right along to the D-Tap. Now this is an automatic targeting pistol. So once they're in this box right here for a certain amount of time, it automatically locks onto them, and you just have to hold down the trigger. It does 5 damage per shot at the base level. So it's not very high damage, but like I say, it locks onto them for you. Alright, so that's the base level. Let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up. Lock on, and now it does 6 damage per shot. As far as I know, there's no possibility of getting a headshot because it just automatically targets their body. So it's going to do the same damage regardless. Alright, moving right along. Let's get to the explosives over here. So first we have the Skybreaker. It's a single shot energy cannon. And let's try this guy over here first. So a direct hit does 26 damage. Let's see what kind of radius it has. See if I can hit all 3 of these guys. Oh, it did 30 damage that time. So some of the outlying damage can be more than if you actually score a direct hit. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way up. Alright, all the way upgraded. Direct hit, 38 damage. Let's fire it between these 3 guys again. 48 damage. So you don't have to hit them directly to do a good amount of damage. It's got a pretty big radius. Moving right along. Let's use the salvo, which is like a grenade launcher. Now, from my experience in game, as long as you hit close to them, it's going to explode. But if you hit a little bit farther away from them, you know, maybe Not even one player away, it's not gonna explode. But 23 damage right off the bat if you hit them with it. Let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way. Alright. Let's see what it'll do now. 28 damage. So 5 extra damage. Now, the damages on these weapons don't seem that high, but there's no shield. It's just a standard amount of health for everybody. And it recharges slowly over time after you haven't taken damage for a certain amount of time. Now, as you can see, this has a pretty big radius as well. Well, as you would expect an explosive too. Alright, let's try the Komodo. This is a plasma launcher. A direct hit, 22 damage. Doesn't matter if you hit a headshot or a body shot, 22 damage. Let's check the radius. This is probably the smallest radius, but you don't have to be very accurate with it because it explodes automatically. The grenade launcher, it'll bounce if you miss by just a little bit. This one, as long as you hit close to them, you're going to get that damage. And like I say, so it kind of depends on how far away they are for how much damage you do. A direct hit, oh wow, it's really dependent. Right at their feet does around 20 damage. A little bit farther away, 24. So it'll actually serve you better to not hit them directly with this. Let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up, see what we got. Alright, so direct hit 22, just a little bit farther away from him. 23, 22, 19, 24, 28. So probably around 30 is max damage, right around that area with it all the way upgraded. Alright, let's move on to the longer range weapons. We've got the sniper. This is a bolt action. So standard body, 50 damage. And in the head, 75. Let's try that again, because sometimes they don't have enough health, it won't do the full damage. Yeah, 75. Okay, so let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way. Alright, it's upgraded. So to the body, 80. To the head, 120. Same damage as the shotgun to the head. At max level. Alright, let's try this dragonfly. Now this is a medium range, I would say, and it's silent, so you're not going to make a lot of noise with this. It's 18 to the body, 27 to the head, and that's the standard. Let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up, see what the difference is. So now we've got 21 to the body, 31 to the head. So that's not bad. But it is a semi-automatic. This is not a fully automatic weapon, so that's something to bear in mind. Just getting started. Alright, let's move on to the fully automatic weapons. Let's start with the Hexfire. Now this weapon has a lot of ammo, does not do very much damage, but has an extremely high rate of fire. So we got 4 to the body right off the bat. Headshot is 6. And that's just at the base level. Now when we fuse it all the way up, you're going to be doing 5 to the body. A little bit difficult to get a headshot. And 7 to the head. So that doesn't seem like very much damage, but you got to remember how many rounds you're putting down range, how fast you can really tear through somebody. I mean, look at this. These bots have the same amount of health as players do. So, like, it's still a lot of rounds, but you're putting them out really fast. As long as you're accurate, you can get your movement down. And check this out. This has a lot of range, and as far as I know, it doesn't have any damage drop-off. So you can just laser people from across the map with this. This is a really popular weapon. I see a lot of people using it out there. I don't personally like it, but I would say that it's probably in the top weapons of the meta. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the Harpy. Now this is a SMG. So, close range fights is what you're looking for this. Does 7 to the body, 10 to the head. And that's at the base level. Alright, so let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up. See what the difference is. So once it's all the way fused, you got 8 to the body, 12 to the head. And this thing can shred. It has just a little bit of recoil that you have to control, but it can absolutely shred through people at close range. Let's see if it has any kind of damage drop off. No, not it doesn't have damage drop off, but the spread does get pretty uncontrollable if you're any kind of distance from them. Alright, let's try the Ripper. This is your fully automatic assault rifle. Base level, 12 to the body, 18 to the head. Fuse it all the way up. And now we've got 14 to the body, 21 to the head. And this is actually one of my favorite weapons. This, the Riot, the 6-shooter revolver, and the shotgun. That's probably my favorite weapons. But once you get this all the way upgraded, you can use it long range, you can use it close range. It's just a pretty solid all-around weapon. Easy for beginners to use, I would say. Like I say again, no damage drop off, but I want to see how the recoil acts. Not too bad, pretty controllable. So that is all the weapons. Let's move on to the hacks. You see you've got 10 hacks, 11 hacks to choose from. Let's start over here. Start with the wall. Now, your standard level of the wall. Builds a big wall, cools down in 12 seconds. Takes quite a bit of damage before you can break through it. So it's a good option to really get you out of there. So at the base level, it takes 12 seconds to cool down. Compare that to all the way fused. It takes 7 seconds to cool down. Now 5 seconds might not seem like a lot of a difference, but that can make all the difference because this is a very fast-paced game. Now let's mess around with the mine. So you see it has a pretty large radius that can trigger this mine. And when it hits somebody, it does 30 damage just from the base level. Let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up. Does more damage once you get it all the way fused. And the radius stays the same, I believe. So see how much damage it does? 45. So you get 15 extra damage out of it. Let's check the invisibility. So you're invisible for about 5 to 6 seconds. And then it has a 14-second cooldown. Let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up. You're invisible for the same amount of time, but it only has a 10-second cooldown. Now, let's try the magnet. So what the magnet does is it'll pull an enemy within the radius towards the center of the magnet, wherever you put it down at. It lasts for a pretty good amount of time. It stays here, but it won't actually do anything after the initial pull. See, it just pulls them in, and then they're unlocked from it. It's about a 13-second cooldown. Let's go ahead and fuse it all the way up. And then it has a 9-second cooldown. Pretty good improvement. So the reveal hack, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. It marks your enemy, but it also marks you for your enemy. So I've had enemies in-game use it on me, and it'll give you a notification that you've been revealed. And if you look around, you'll see an arrow, just like this red arrow here, over the enemy that revealed you. So that's pretty convenient. You know, if you get revealed, if you have invisibility, you can quickly pop invisibility after you've been revealed, and they will still be revealed on your screen, but you will no longer be revealed on their screen. Now, if you already have popped invisibility and then they use reveal, it will cancel out your invisibility. So that's just something to keep in mind. So, has a 12-second cooldown at the base level. And it has a 7-second cooldown when it's all the way upgraded. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the heal. Heal's pretty self-explanatory. Pop it down, it heals you. It takes 15 seconds to recharge. This is never a bad option. If you see this, it's probably a good idea to grab it. So the fully upgraded version, 9-second cooldown, which that's a pretty good improvement. So invulnerability, I don't really use this one a lot because, yeah, you're invulnerable, but you can't do anything else. If you swap to a weapon or you use another hack, it's going to cancel it out. But you'll be invulnerable for about 5 seconds or so, and then it has a 15-second cooldown. Let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way. You're still invulnerable the same amount of time. And then it has a 10-second cooldown. So when something's cooling down, if you see another one and you grab it, it'll reset the cooldown for you, which is pretty convenient. It can be situationally. All right, let's check out this ball. So the ball is pretty annoying to deal with if you don't have it. But if you do have it, it's a great way to get out of a bad situation. You pop it, you go into this ball that absorbs a certain amount of damage, and it lasts for a pretty long time. You see that timer down there in the bottom. That's how long it'll last if you don't get shot out. Now, it can take enough damage where they can break your ball. The Hexfire, I'm sorry, does a really good job of tearing through this. But you can see how much mobility this offers you. So let's switch out of it. 12-second cooldown. Let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way. Same amount of time you can spend in the ball. I can't actually accurately tell you if it increases the amount of damage you can take, because I don't have anybody to test that with me. But it goes down to a 7-second cooldown. Teleport. I'm a pretty big fan of teleport. So teleport, obviously, you know, it shoots you forward. You see, it's a decent distance. It's better if you angle it up, and I'll show you that now. Hold on, let me see. I didn't see the cooldown. Gives you a 12-second cooldown at the base level. Let's go ahead and upgrade it all the way. And then it has a 7-second cooldown, which is a pretty decent improvement. So if you go up with it, you know, it offers you a lot of mobility, especially if you haven't jumped yet, because then you have that double jump you can do in the air. So for instance, you know, this guy's lasering me. Oh, I'm out of here. And then you duck around a corner, you come back. So the shockwave, it's similar to the teleport in terms of how much mobility it offers you, but you can look straight down, you can use it, it'll jump you up high. It's like a launch pad, kinda. But there is some versatility to it, in so much as you can use it on enemies. So you see this guy right here. You can aim it at him, and it does a little bit of damage and shoots him away. And again, I didn't check the cooldown, so let's wait for it to cool down and see what we're working with. 12-second cooldown. Okay. Fuse it all the way up. And it goes down to a 7-second cooldown. It also does 10 more damage. I did not realize that. Alright, so let's check the slam. Now the slam is pretty interesting, because you can use it offensively, you can use it as mobility to get away, or you can do both. So once you activate the slam, it's going to shoot you way up high, and then it's going to slam back down to do 20 damage at the base level. Now, if you don't want to come back down and slam somebody, there's other options. So you get to the top of your arc, switch to your weapon, and then you can just run away without slamming back down to the ground. It still activates the cooldown, even though you haven't performed the full slam. which yeah, that's probably for the best. Or else you could just spam this and use it to get away really fast. Now, what was the cooldown? Let's see that again. 11 seconds. Okay. Let's fuse it all the way up. Check the cooldown. Now, it also does more damage once you've leveled it up. Slam it, see the damage. I didn't see the damage, but it goes down to a 7-second cooldown. Let's see if we can see the damage a little bit better this time. 40, I think. It either said 30 or 40, but it does more damage than 20 once it's all the way upgraded. Now, that's all the hacks we've gone through, but you can combine these hacks. Obviously, there's some that go very well together. For instance, if we pick up this mine, and then we pick up this magnet, so you're going to want to place the mine first, because it takes a little bit for them to activate it. So I'll place the mine, and then they trigger it, and then I'll place this magnet, so it pulls them to the mine. So that's a pretty solid combination that you can use. Also, the wall, you know, it seems pretty standard, like you know, just a defensive measure. But there are ways you can use this offensively as long as you have another hack that goes well with it. For instance, let's just use the shockwave for example. All right, we're fighting. This guy's lasering me. Ah, wall. Shockwave, come over the top, shoot down on top of him. And now, obviously, the more accurate you are, the more effective the strategy will be. We can also pair this with the slam. Go ahead and get it all the way upgraded again. So we're fighting. Wall, slam, and then come down on top of him. And then just keep on going. Now this particular strategy is super effective with this shotgun. And I'll show you why. So, you know, we're using our assault rifle, that, slam, switch back to the shotgun. And you just come through and you just wreck them. So there's all kinds of options. Like I say, never a bad idea to run a heal. Never a bad idea to have mobility. It depends on your play style. If you're going to be getting a lot of fights, I'd definitely recommend the heal, as well as either a offensive ability, you know, slam, mine, shockwave, or a mobility, which also shockwave, slam, and teleport. Now, what you don't really want to do is say you don't really want to run like invisibility and invulnerability, because you have no movement, you have no way to do any damage, and neither of those things last very long, even when they're fully upgraded. But again, it just comes down to personal preference and play style. So that's almost all I've got for you. Of course, movement's very important. There's a lot you can do. You can slide, you can sprint, you can double jump. There's a lot of up and down on these maps. You know, you can get up very quickly. You know, jump around. So it's probably a good idea to come in this target range and just practice. Practice jumping. Practice, you know, jumping this way, quickly jumping back the other way, doing this, doing that, and getting some shots off at the same time so that you kind of get a feel for it. A pretty effective strategy can be to slide cancel, which is you just initiate your slide. For me, that's the right stick, but by default, it's the B button. I'm just more comfortable using the right stick to slide. So what you'll do is you'll initiate the slide, and then once you get to however far you were trying to slide, you just hit the sprint button, and it'll cancel it, and you'll instantly go to a sprint. Now, I have had times where this is kind of bugged out on me. I wouldn't even say bugged out. I probably just did it wrong. But where you go to slide and then cancel, and it doesn't work. Or you'll go to slide, and you'll just crouch instead. So, it's just little things like that you have to get used to. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial video. kind of breaking down the damages of these different weapons and some of the strategies you can use with these hacks. If you like the channel, if it helped you in any way, consider leaving a like or a subscription. And that's all I've got for you. Y'all have a great day. Bye.